Welcome back, everybody, to another edition of the Wide Eye Sports Podcast. We got a brand new member on the show today. It is Easy Steve up there
Let's
in
go.
the corner. He's been mentioned on the show several times. He's our resident Chiefs fan. We are so happy to have him on the show. Steve, tell the people a little bit about yourself.
I'm not a fake Chiefs fan, okay? I've been a Chiefs fan.
Fake as fuck.
The first quarterback I ever remember rooting for was Damon Heward, okay? Who remembers Damon Heward?
I sure as hell don't.
I don't even know who that is.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
The only Chiefs QBs there's ever been are Matt Castle and Patrick Mahomes.
That's it.
Pretty much. Alex Smith. That's all I
Nah,
remember.
he wasn't a Chiefs.
I remember
QB.
Trent
Nah, I
Green.
No.
No, but for real, I have been a diehard Chiefs fan my entire life, through thick and thin, man. The number one phrase of Chiefs fans, or at least my mom always said, was "There's always next year," and we were heavy in that "always next year," man.
Yeah,
I remember
I'm-
Jamal Charles was the only we had to play with, bro. Like that was it. One season of Dwayne Bowe, you know.
I feel it. I'm still in the next. There's always next season mode. So it didn't happen the past 50 years. But so with that, we're gonna get right underway with things. We have a jam-packed episode for y'all today, and it's a really good one. We're gonna go over our all-time best starting 11 on offense. We're gonna argue it out. There's gonna be some hot takes, some spicy takes. We're gonna get all up in it, and we're gonna be all up about it. So we're gonna get right underway, right? All right, guys. So I was thinking about making Tom Brady off limits for this, and I decided to say, fuck that. We're going to keep Tom Brady in this because he's the GOAT. As a resident Chiefs fan, Steve is obviously not a huge Brady supporter.
No, it's not that. It's just
But
over
he can
I'm just over
he can
it.
acknowledge that
Same.
that Tom Brady is the GOAT.
He's retired. Let's talk about somebody else now.
No. So can we all agree that for the if we were building the best offense we could possibly build, all-time greatest offense, that Tom Brady would be the starting quarterback? Anybody like to red flag that? Anybody like to argue that? I mean, I'm open to
I'm
hearing.
not arguing about it.
Are we talking about over the course of a season or to win one game?
We're talking you get to build a team of the all-time greatest players throughout NFL history. This goes all the way back to the beginning of the NFL. You
the
get
beginning of time.
the beginning of time. So you get one quarterback for your team. This isn't a 53-man roster. You got to put 11 dudes out on a field.
Mm-hmm.
So you take it. And you get anybody in their prime. You get prime version of this guy.
This is gonna sound bad, but
Riley's going to be like, so Jim McMahon was actually...
no, it's gonna be even worse than that.
Oh, wow.
I think Prime Rodgers has
Prime
a
Rodgers.
case.
That's exactly what Raisin Bren wanted to hear.
I would take Prime Mahomes over Prime Rodgers any
Hey, I
day
might-
of the week.
I might take Prime Mahomes over Prime Rodgers.
I would definitely take Prime Mahomes. I would take Prime
Yeah.
Vic over Prime Rodgers.
Yeah, I would definitely take Prime Mahomes. I mean, three Super Bowls already. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean,
Everybody's
I-
1-2 essentially is just Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
and call it recency bias, call it what it is, but I'm taking Tom Brady.
Well, the thing
I
is
think-
I'm not gonna take Joe Montana over Tom Brady right now at all. Like I'm gonna take Tom Brady over any of those. Like Dan Marino, I'm taking Tom Brady. And then
Yeah.
but now looking at it, it's like, ooh, at the end of Patrick Mahomes' career, are we gonna take him over Tom Brady? Who knows? We might. So that's the
Man,
only
well, when he kind of wedges his way out of Kansas City due to that whole situation,
You gotta drop
and
that,
goes
dude.
to
You've got to drop that stick. I'm so tired of hearing it. I'm so tired of hearing it. You know his reasoning for that is because something like how quarterbacks that sign deals like that never finish their career with the team.
no.
Give me a break.
Hold on. No quarterback that has ever signed a 10-year contract ever finished that contract with the team they signed it with. It's never happened.
It's only a matter of time.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I guess we're out on Mahomes, dude. Shucks.
Sorry, my
Yeah.
bad. No, I'm just kidding. But so we'll move on. We'll move on from quarterback because that's pretty much wrapped up in a nice little package with a bow on top. Now I want to do a more controversial position, and I know we're gonna have some pushback at the running back position. Riley, who would be your running back?
Man, this is another one. Like, I'm just staying in the NFC North. Probably Barry Sanders.
Oh, okay. That's mine.
I don't
I
know.
expected sweetness
I
out
was
of you.
I'm probably
Yeah.
going
I think
towards
as far
Barry
as
Sanders
pure
as well.
talent, I think
I'm going Barry.
Barry has a
Really?
slight edge.
I feel like
Sweet.
Steve wants to say something.
I don't know, man. I kind of like LaDainian Tomlinson.
LaDainian
Yeah?
Tomlinson, all that. You get one. Man, I
I
don't
don't
know.
hate
I
it.
mean,
I
if
don't
I want
hate
one-
it.
Nobody's
If
even.
I don't know if I need 5 hard yards inside.
Adrian
I don't know.
Peterson. You're not even. You're
Adrian
no one's even-
Peterson's another one I might play with.
Man, I feel like. I
like,
mean, don't
just-
get me wrong. I literally have a poster of the, or not a poster, a plaque of the man in my little
I
alcove.
literally
over
have
there.
a shrine to.
Exactly.
You have to
Don't
say-
get me wrong. I fucking love the guy. Barry Sanders is the greatest running back of all time. Like,
Yeah, dude, it's hard. My
he's
dad
Bar-
even had a Barry Sanders jersey.
Barry was the goat of running backs. Like he's Barry Sanders. I mean, he played for the Lions in their poverty years, which is all of their
Poverty
franchise,
years.
their whole franchise. But I think Barry Sanders deserves RB1 on this team. Anybody gonna disagree with me? Red flag it.
Nope.
Red flag it. Nope.
It's hard. It's hard to disagree with that one, dude. It's really
right.
hard.
All right. So now I decided we're going to run 11 personnel for this offense. And for those of you who don't know what that means, 11 personnel is 1 running back, 1 tight end, 3 wide receivers. So easy here. Wide receiver 1. Anybody? We just going Jerry.
Yeah,
Jerry
Jerry
Rice,
Rice.
dude.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, wide receiver 2, I went Randy Moss. You get Randy Moss. I mean,
I'm going
I'd
Calvin
go
Johnson.
Moss too.
You going Calvin, Steve?
I'm going Calvin Johnson.
Well, we get 3 wide receivers. We can take
Yeah,
Calvin
yeah.
and
But
I was
we're
about to say,
But we're talking depth chart here. We're talking. This is important to me because
whether
this
whether
this
I
is
Talking
important.
depth chart. He's number
What-
2 on
listen,
depth chart,
oh.
dude. He's got to be.
Jesus.
He's gotta
Listen,
be.
whether I say Randy at this pick or I say him on the next pick, I'm still gonna put Randy on this team. So
yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I guess it's wide receiver 3 I put Calvin Johnson wide receiver 3 squarely
That's-
behind
I
Randy
love
Moss.
Calvin Johnson, bro.
And that's
What an
where I'd
absolute
be.
specimen.
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with putting Calvin Johnson on there. Specimen.
I mean, I had a hard time leaving guys like Larry Fitzgerald off because
Larry Legend,
It's-
baby.
is Riley, you're probably a bit young. Dalton, you really didn't watch football back then.
Oh, I remember Larry Fitzgerald because I remember the Cardinals and the Steelers. It was like I think that was the first
Okay,
Super Bowl
okay,
I
that's-
actually
that's what
watched was the Cardinals Steelers.
Yeah. So that
06.
playoff run was like what cemented Larry Fitzgerald in the NFL. That was like the all-time greatest playoff run by a wide receiver to this day. Like he basically took the Arizona Cardinals, went hop on and let's go to a Super Bowl. And even in the Super Bowl with like 2 minutes left, he had like a 70-yard touchdown reception to put them up. And then the Steelers proceeded to have the greatest toe tap touchdown as time ran out ever
Was
in
that
Super
a
Bowl
touchdown?
history. Yes, it was. He got both. He got both toes down.
I'm
Toes
just trying to
touch.
get a little controversy on the pod, y'all.
Nobody's
Man,
a
his toes
Steelers
suck.
fan or a Cardinals fan, so nobody really gives a fuck.
Yeah,
Hey, if you're
nobody's
watching and you're a
dying
Steelers
on
or a Cardinals
Neil
fan, if you're a
here.
Cardinals fan, I am so sorry.
Oh, I just meant
Man,
in the
so
pod.
sorry.
Nobody.
If you're a
here
Steelers fan,
is
if you're a
going to
Steelers
fight
fan,
for
like
that.
you
No
have
one's-
enough,
no.
like kind of kick rocks. You have enough to be happy about. We don't need your negativity. But yeah, so we got Jerry Rice, we got Randy Moss, we got Calvin Johnson. I mean, I even thought like potentially Antonio Brown on this list because
Or like, what about like
AB
a
was
speed guy?
nasty.
Yeah, but I was.
Yeah, he's more of a slot guy.
Hold on.
I
A
would
speed
take
guy?
Ty- I
We
would
have
take
the
Tyreek.
greatest speed guy in the NFL's history.
No,
I would probably take Tyreek over Antonio Brown though.
Oh yeah, probably. I was just throwing out names that like came to my mind.
I mean, a name that comes to my mind is Julio Jones. I think he's the fourth one or fifth one that's probably left.
See, I would take Larry over Julio.
Yeah,
That's fair.
same.
And I don't disagree.
Julio's
with that.
like a Larry Light.
I'm
And
just-
that's
I'm
not
just- I'm
disrespecting
just-
Julio.
I'm just naming
not
off like
disrespecting
receivers
Julio,
that
that's
just
like a
barely probably
compliment.
made the cut or missed the cut.
Yeah, no,
And
I would.
I think Julio barely missed the cut.
We're probably missing some guys, man.
Nah, we are the be all end all.
Well,
of
we got our
media,
starting
so
three.
we're not
yes.
missing anybody. There's no chance we're missing anybody. All right, so here's a
Bryce,
position.
Moss, Megatron.
I wouldn't take anybody else. That would be mine. No question about it. I mean, if you really wanted to get crazy about it, I mean, I'm putting Jerry Rice in the slot. I'm getting Randy on the outside, Calvin on the outside, and I mean, who's stopping that offense?
Running 4 verticals, man.
Literally, Tom Brady can just do this.
Seriously,
just go like that, and somebody on the offense is going to come down with the football.
bro, you could just
We've
have.
already seen what Tom Brady and Randy Moss looks like too.
That's
so
what
you
I'm
can't
saying.
imagine what the rest of that offense would
Yep.
look like, dude.
Fucking crazy.
Stupid.
So here's the. I feel like this is the most controversial spot on this list.
I'm excited about this.
This
Um,
is where, yep, I'm excited.
this-
I
to hear
already know what
Ooh.
position. Tight end. We looking at tight end.
We're looking at tight ends, baby.
Okay. Word.
It's hard
Steve,
for me.
I need Steve to go first on this one.
I mean, it's hard to not say Travis Kelce. Like, you guys are putting me in a really tough position to not.
You're not going George Kittle? You're not going George Kittle?
You have to miss me with that, bro. You have to stop. George
Alright, so-
Kittle doesn't even hold Travis Kelce's job
hold
strap,
up.
dude.
Oh.
Stop that.
Didn't George Kittle have like 7 receptions this entire last playoff run?
Stop it.
I'm just curious.
I'm just saying.
Yeah,
if
but
he
is that
was
his
used-
fault or is that Brock Purdy's
Yeah.
fault?
Exactly.
I-
If he was
okay,
targeted the
I've
way
been told for
Kelsey
the
was
last-
targeted.
I've been told for the last 8 months that Brock Purdy's a great quarterback, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, you obviously weren't watching our show because then we weren't telling you that.
So who's picked their tight end so far? Just
I
you.
think just
All right, because I want to hear who everybody has to say. Because there's
Yeah, I
like,
would li-
there's
I
like
would like-
four. There's like 4 dudes that come to mind.
Spoon, give us your
There's
give
some
us the
good
4.
ones.
Give us the 4,
Cooners,
Spoon.
Four?
if you try and make Jason Witten work, bro, I'm gonna lose my mind.
No, okay. I'm a Cowboys fan, but I'm not that. But no, I'm not saying that.
Dalton's
I got
coming in the
4.
chat with so Dak
The
Prescott
slander.
can
My
4.
actually play
The
tight end.
slander.
My 4. I'm going to start out with the 2 Chiefs. You got Tony Gonzalez and Travis Kelce. You got Rob Gronkowski, and you got Antonio Gates.
Yeah.
I think that's the clear-cut 4. I think you could.
You're gonna leave out
Make an
Kellen
argument.
Winslow? What the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
I think you can make an argument for maybe a couple more guys, but I think that's
Yeah,
a
no.
solid 4 right
I
there.
think that's
And
a very
I
solid 4.
think I would probably just go with Tony Gonzalez here
Over Kelsey.
over Kelsey.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm sticking with Gronk.
I like the Gronk pick. I think Gronk would probably be 2.
I know you hate Gronk, Steve. I know you
I don't
hate him.
hate him. I
You
don't
hate
him.
no,
I
you
just-
hate him.
No, I
No,
don't
you
hate
hate
him. I just
him.
No, I just think he's a buffoon. I think he's an absolute buffoon, and I don't get it. But
I love Gronk.
He's just
I
like
love the Gronk pick.
just the
I-
touch-
I'm
Go,
only
Steve.
going.
Go.
I'm only going Gronk here because Tom Brady is our quarterback.
Ooh, he likes the chemistry.
point.
He likes the
Yeah.
chemistry.
Yeah, I mean, you honestly cannot go wrong with any of those guys.
Riley, we didn't get your pick.
I'd probably go Kelsey just because I think he's got a little better run after the catch.
Okay. I could agree with that. Kelsey is definitely a better true receiver than Gronk, but I feel like Gronk is a better target than Kelsey. That like just as far as like catch radius and just getting the ball into his vicinity,
Yeah.
He's
He's a
sticky,
freak of
bro.
nature.
He's
Yeah.
just sticky.
just absolute freak of nature, as Steve said. All right, so I went through here, and I don't feel like the offensive line is going to be very controversial for anybody. It may be. I may be completely wrong, but I went back and looked throughout NFL history. I'm going back to like the 40s for this, right? Like throughout
shit.
all of NFL history, I looked at like who were the most dominant at their position. I went back and looked at all pro teams, awards, all that kind of stuff. So, and I didn't even know some of these guys. Like, I was like, whoa, who's this guy? And I went into his history and looked him up. But most of them I knew. So, starting at right tackle, and feel free to throw out any names that you want. I have San Diego Chargers legend Ron Mix. He played from 1960 to 1971, and in those 11 seasons, 9 of them were all first or second team All Pros. I mean, All Pro almost every single year.
Okay.
It's pretty damn good for a right tackle. I couldn't find anybody with a more impressive award situation going
So
on.
Brenner's saying that this guy from the '60s is the greatest right tackle of all time.
Hold on.
I mean,
Hear
come
me
on,
out.
dude.
Hear me out.
The tackle from the Niners, is he a left tackle?
Trent Williams, he's a left tackle. He's a left
He's
tackle.
a left tackle.
And I have a different left tackle than even him. So we'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah,
but hear
dude,
me
come
out.
on.
Hear me out. So, but hold on. Back in the day, they were allowed to head slap. They were just as big. Like this dude was 6'5", 320, so he was just as big.
But he might have been a unicorn. Like, who's to
Yeah,
say
but that's
that the
what
DN
I'm saying.
lineup across him wasn't so old Joe who was teaching PE on during
But
the week?
that's not the NFL. Wasn't like the NBA. Like they didn't have part-time jobs. They still only played football for a living. Like they were still just playing football. Like now you go back into the 40s. I'll give that to you. There's one guy on this list from the 40s, but his resume for a center is just too good.
Like you
So I
want
left
this
him in
Joe Mix guy going up against
Ron Mix, give the fucking legend his credit.
You want Ron Mix to go up against Myles Garrett?
Yeah.
Like, come on, dude. Like, let's be real.
Yeah.
Like, let's be real here.
Throw it
Are we
in.
talking
Throw it in
about
here.
right tackles, or are we talking about accolades?
We're
If
talking
we're
about
I got
right
the
tackle?
best guy at right tackle.
Who you got?
hit me.
Oh, R.I.P. Larry Allen. 14 seasons.
How are you gonna let me disrespect a dead man? Why are you gonna make me disrespect a dead man?
14 seasons, 11
Classic
Pro Bowls.
Brenner.
Pro
Classic
Bowls.
Brenner.
Okay.
We're talking about Pro Bowls.
This
He
was
also-
when
Pro
Pro Bowls mattered.
He also not only did he make the
Pro Bowls.
1990s All-Decade team, but he made the 2000s All-Decade team. Dude was a fucking
Bowl.
beast. I'm going with Larry Allen.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Hey,
Yeah,
I'll give it to you.
good.
I'll give Larry Allen to you. Man, help make a dynasty in Dallas. I'll give it to you. Like I said, I just was going back and looking through all. I may have got carried away. That's
Yeah.
just something I happen to do.
Well, we're gonna see how
Um,
the rest of this list goes on, and
It only gets better from here. So like,
okay. I guess
it's just gonna get more intense, guys. Anybody else got a right tackle they want to throw out? Any names at all? I'll let anybody throw anybody out. If not, I win, you lose, suck it. So right guard, we're gonna move on to right guard.
Zach
I have-
Martin.
Marshall Yanda. Do you guys remember him? Baltimore
Yeah, I was
Ravens
gonna say
legend.
Ravens.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Stud.
just retired a few years ago,
Rarely.
2019. Was a 7-time All-Pro in the modern day. Pretty damn good. Super Bowl winner. I mean, right guard's the guards in general, guard and center are kind of hard to find flashy names. And usually those flashier names are attributed to guys who won Super Bowls, and they may have not been the best at their position. They were just on the Super Bowl winning team and was like the third or fourth best player, or even the first best player on the offense on the Super Bowl team. So it was really hard to find guards and center. Anybody else got another guard they want to throw out? I know Dalt threw out Zach Martin. Zach Martin was definitely on the list. He was like right up there making the final cut. He is an all-time great right guard. Anybody else? No? All right, cool. So we're going to move on to center. Center for me, I just had fun with. I just took this and ran. I just had some fun. So maybe the greatest football name of all time. Are you ready for the greatest?
Creed Humphrey.
No, even better than that. I mean, this quite possibly may be the GOAT of all football names. Are you ready for this? Bulldog Turner.
I was hoping
Imagine-
Bulldog
That's
Johnson.
a pretty dope name.
I mean, imagine lining up from a center whose first name is Bulldog. That's not his nickname. That was his name. Like, I thought, oh, that's a cool nickname. And then I looked up his wiki. And I'm like, oh, that's like what he went by. Like, whoa. Okay. Just in Bulldog Turner. Played for the Chicago Bears from 1940 to 1952.
Come
so
on,
I went
dude. What are we doing?
way back. 7-time All-Pro.
Have
I mean,
have you ever played Blacktop on NBA on like 2K?
yeah,
You play Blacktop,
yeah,
and then you can just pick any. They let you play like a 5-on-5.
anybody.
That's exactly what this is. And then it's like you
Yeah.
have like a new age Tom Brady with the New Jersey, and then you just have this old like faded looking
1940s center.
classical.
Like it's some
Just a
old
leather
It's
helmet.
film,
He's got
black
one.
and
It's
white,
just the one stick across the face.
leather helmet.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
This guy's bleeding from an ear.
Bulldog Turner.
Yeah.
Imagine Brady taking snaps from old
The
Bulldog.
founder of CTE.
All right. Left guard. I have a personal favorite of mine, and this is a little bit of homerism, but I really do think he is. I would have this is the name that immediately came to mind when left guard came up. Randall McDaniel. I don't know if you guys even know who that is.
I don't
He
know who
was
that is.
1988 to 2001, 9-time All-Pro, left guard. One of probably a top 3 career in Vikings history, and that's saying something with Randy Moss, Adrian Peterson, Alan Page, all those guys. This Randall McDaniel was the consensus best left guard throughout his entire career. I don't know of any other left guards that were that way. I'm also a little biased, so I'm not trying to shy away from my shortcomings. I am who I am.
It's also really tough to do linemen, man, because it's such a
Opinionated.
It is.
There's
man,
not
and
stats to judge it on.
Yeah.
It really is not.
You've got to watch them.
Yep.
The only
It's hard.
the only ones that I think are controversial, like if anybody that you might say is going to be this next one, because everybody's got their left tackles that they like. You know what I mean?
And I have a
But-
sleeper. I have a sleeper. All right, you ready for this? Nobody's gonna have this left tackle, and I've actually been a big fan of this guy. I remember when I first got into football back in the early 2000s. I saw this guy's jersey, and that was kind of like one of the first times I remember seeing a person wearing a jersey like out and about, like in the world in general. That's Anthony Munoz. Do you guys remember him? Anybody remember him? He was the Bengals left tackle from 1980 to 1992, and he
I
had.
wasn't even born.
Neither was I. None of us were. But I remember seeing his jersey, and this dude played in the NFL for 80 to 92, so that's 13 seasons. He had 11 straight All-Pro seasons. 11 straight seasons making an All-Pro team. That is
That's
insane.
nutty.
So, I mean, throw out your left tackles. I think Anthony Munoz, it was one of those guys where I'm like, I wonder what his stats were, and it ended up being fucking wild. But, I mean, obviously, Trent Williams up there.
Larry Tunsil up there.
Yeah, Larry Tunsil up
I
there.
don't know about all-time greatness, but I'm just talking about modern
Yeah,
right now.
I'm
He's
just
one of the most
messing.
underrated.
Yeah, dude,
you
it's still another one of those positions that's so like, it's probably the third most important position on the field.
Oh yeah,
Third
you pay
or
your
fourth.
quarterback, you pay the guy who protect.
You pay the
Your
quarterback,
quarterback, you pay your DN,
hit the quarterback,
and then
protect
you
the quarterback.
Yep.
And you can switch out protect the quarterback with catches the ball. Like those two are like
Mhm.
kind of back and forth. It depends on the offense you're running.
pick your defense or pick your receiver.
Yeah, exactly. So, but that is, I mean, does anybody else have a left tackle they want to throw out?
I don't.
Nobody? All right, cool. Well, that's our all-time starting 11. You got Brady, Barry Sanders, Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, Calvin Johnson. Did we settle on a tight end?
I don't think we did settle on a tight
I don't
end.
think we did. Yeah.
I don't think we did. I don't have one written down. I was gonna write down.
I think
like,
it was tied 2-2. Spoon went.
I went Tony Gonzalez.
Gonzalez.
He said
All right,
Tony
Spoon. We
Gonzalez.
need a
Need a
tiebreaker.
tiebreaker, yeah.
Who would you
Yeah.
rank higher, Gronk or Kelsey?
I would take Gronk.
You got
All
it.
right.
I would take Gronk.
That is just so.
He's
dumb,
my number
bro.
2.
Your best,
So dumb.
your best ability is availability. The dude was never completely healthy.
Except
Give me
for
a
all the
break.
Super Bowls he won.
All the Super Bowls he won. Yeah, it's great, dude.
That's great. Yeah. That's great.
So now we're
See?
doing tight end
So
wins.
for those of
We're
you
doing tight end wins.
oh shit. For those of you who don't know, Steve is a Chiefs fan. The Chiefs were tormented by the Patriots for about a decade.
Mhm.
They were not on the best of terms. So Steve likes the Patriots about as much as I like the Packers. So for those
Yeah.
of you who watch the show, that's the insider scoop.
Yeah,
Arnold,
they kicked our ass.
Easy
They
Steve.
kicked our ass for several years. We gave them a couple years of back and forths, but
Hey Steve, is anybody ever beat Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs? Has there ever been a quarterback that's currently not in the NFL to beat Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs?
yeah,
ever
dude,
happened?
what are you doing? Yeah, you talking Tom Brady?
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I'm talking about. I'm just tormenting you. I'm just bringing
Yeah.
up wounds. I have to live with wounds every day, so you have to live with them sometimes.
Listen, I'm gonna take it. I will take it all right now while I've got it, because I've already told myself I don't know that the Chiefs are ever gonna be this good again. So in my entire life, I'm gonna talk about this time frame of the Chiefs. Like, this is the time of the Chiefs I'm gonna tell my kids someday about. You know what I'm saying? Like,
God, your kids are gonna be so tormented. Dad, we get it. 2020 Mahomes was fucking awesome. Okay,
I
you
hope
told
your
us
kids are
last night.
Patriots
too.
get it,
fans.
2020 we get it. 2020 Mahomes should have won the championship.
Dad, what was 2020 Mahomes like? All right. So that's our starting 11. We have a little bit extra on the pod for you today. So a couple weeks ago, sorry, I'm tearing up. That was really funny to me. A couple weeks ago, we had our first ever 2,000 view video. It was our week one week one schedule predictions. I just want to thank everybody for showing up and showing out and getting us over 2,000 views on that video. Next
Let's
goal is
go.
1,000 likes on a video, so let's make that happen. But I want to scroll through the comments of that video for a second. I just want to see what some people had to say about what we had to say, and I want to give the boys a little chance to kind of fire back and give their rebuttals to these comments. So you guys ready for that?
Yeah.
All right.
let's
So
do this.
this may have been, I don't remember who made this comment, and this seems like a me comment. So I think this was probably directed at me. But the first comment from Brad Pirochota 9293. I probably edit or destroyed that name, but it's all like mashed up. So Detroit didn't get any better. LOL! Exclamation point! Exclamation point! Exclamation point! Exclamation point! DJ Reader, Terrion Arnold, Carlton Davis, Amik Robertson, Marcus Davenport, Enos Rakestraw, Kevin Zettler. Detroit's only players that left were Jonah Jackson, replaced by Pro Bowler Zeltzer, and Cam Sutton. Sorry, shortened up on me. And all of the rookies from last year, including 2 Pro Bowlers, aren't going to be rookies this year. Detroit was the only team Pro Football Focus graded an A+ in their offseason grades. Such a ridiculous statement. LOL, all caps, and then 3 exclamation points. And then underneath that, from Spencer Farmer 3161, thank you. These guys need to do some research. Laughing emoji. And then underneath that, from Jeff Hoofman 4568, yeah, this dude don't know shit. So I feel
So,
like
hold
those
on.
are.
If that's directed as you got cooked,
They
Brad.
made it.
I got cooked.
They
Come on.
they made it to an NFC championship. The
Yeah.
only way they can have a better season is if they get to the Super Bowl, and they're not getting to the Super Bowl.
And I would argue the only way they have a better season is if they win the Super Bowl, because they choked away a huge lead in the NFC Championship. By all respects, they should have made the Super Bowl this year.
I don't even think they're going to get to the NFC Championship.
I don't either. And let me do some. They got some good rookies in there. Carlton Davis, good player. Amik Robertson, I think he's pretty overrated. I think he was helped a lot by a guy named Max Crosby getting to the quarterback in 3 seconds. And when you play in the slot, all you have to do is cover for about 3 seconds if the guy's getting to the quarterback. So yeah, Zettler is a great player, but he's not better than Jonah Jackson, in my opinion. I mean, he's better in his prime, but not currently, I should say. And then, yeah, Gibbs and Sam Laporta were good last season, but sophomore slumps are a thing for a reason. Like, those are well documented. I don't expect those two dudes to have way better seasons. Like, I don't expect Jahmyr Gibbs to go off for 2,000 yards and Sam Laporta to have 20 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think they got all that much better. Like, maybe a teeny bit better, but I still think the Niners are a better team. So, I mean, at me again, do it again. I dare you, because I will go round and round in Detroit Lions being a poverty franchise until I die. All right,
Damn.
So that was the first.
hard.
I hope they
That was-
respond back and just take your.
Oh, I hope they
dude.
do.
It's gonna
I hope
start
they
a
just
whole
they just
war.
take your
roast
money.
me.
Not enough.
Hey.
Not enough Detroit Lions support on the pod. Unreal.
There's too much Detroit Lions support in the world. All right, so next up, this is like a super long YouTube name. Doc the Perfect Face for a Radio 6022 responds to us and said, "It's crazy to make football predictions in June." You're right, Doc. It is. But you
very
watched the
crazy.
video, so what does that make you?
Hey man, I'm watching football prediction videos all year.
We're-
so-
We're all
the people-
watching
the people
football
crave-
predictions.
The people crave content.
The people
What else
crave
is there to
NFL
do right
content. It's what it is. We love it. We crave it.
the
we
draft
crave it
is
so
over.
much.
We know how these teams are going to look now. Free
We
agency's
made up-
over.
We made
We
up a
got
whole
this
fake
out.
YouTube channel just to talk about football. Obviously, we're fucking.
I don't think there's a
Fiending.
better time to start predicting than June.
I mean, March, but hey,
I mean, you can predict in March, but I'm just saying I don't think there's a better time
Just
to
mess-
start predicting than in June.
February 13th. That's the best time to start. predicting.
Start predicting.
All right. So next up is, I don't remember who said this, but I remember there was some Jaguars fumbling from us. I think we have them starting like 0-4, spoiler for the season prediction videos. People forgot before the Jags hit the injury bug, they were beating just about every team, ... sitting at 8-3 before injuries piled up on offense, defense, and special teams. I mean, what do you guys think? It doesn't really change my opinion on the Jags. I don't feel
No.
like they got all that much better. I do like T-Law, and I'm not trying to disrespect T-Law by any means, but I just don't see them as some serious threat in the AFC.
I don't see them
Your
either.
division's getting better too. Sorry to cut you off.
Oh,
No, you're good. I was just gonna say, they do suffer from the injury bug a lot, and it sucks. But it's hard to come back from some of those injuries, and some of those players just aren't the same.
I agree. And there's not nobody like who on the Jaguars scares you. Like, oh man, I don't want to face that guy. I don't want to face that guy twice a year.
Gabe
like-
Davis.
Gosh, shut up. Fucking Gabe
He's a
Davis
big
is
Gabe
the
Davis
most
guy.
overrated and flash in
Watch
the
him go for
pan.
2,000 yards this year.
I swear to God, no chance. No, I'll streak live on the. I'll get the whole YouTube channel taken down.
He said it.
Streaking
It's on the
live if
pod.
Gabe Davis has 2,000 yards.
It's on the pod, he
Jesus.
said it.
All right. So another one that
I
just
mean,
happened.
I was gonna say I'm a big Jacksonville backer, so I understand.
All right.
But I don't think this offseason they've gotten any better
Yeah.
at all. they essentially traded Calvin Ridley for
Davis?
Gabe Davis instead. So that's a
And this is a
It's a loss.
loss.
this is a contract year for Lawrence too, man.
Yeah. I think T-Law will do his. I did see a video. I don't know if you guys saw of T-Law throwing balls, and he had like 12 drop touchdown passes. It's like a 3-minute long video of just drop touchdown passes by receivers last season. So I mean, there was some points left on the field for sure, and like 9 of those were to Calvin Ridley. So, and I mean, these were just like drops. Like they had it in their hand and couldn't bring it in for the catch. So
and who knows? Maybe they're drafting Brian Thomas Jr. as well. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe he's
Yeah,
not
no.
a bust at all. Maybe he could be the
I
best
don't think
wide
he'll be a
receiver coming out.
bust, but I think his ceiling is like a T. Higgins level wide receiver. Like that's his ceiling. So a top 10 to 15 guy. I don't think he's ever going to be a top 5 guy, but I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. I'll be wrong
knows?
again.
Hey man, those
I
LSU
think he
receivers.
Yeah, you will.
I was gonna say, dude, I think T. Higgins on
baby.
another. T. Higgins on another roster, though, you don't know what that's like, because I think T. Higgins is a number 1 playing a 2.
Yeah, no, I think he could be a low end 1. I don't think he'd be a high end 1, but I think he could be a top 15, top 10 receiver.
Like if T. Higgins was on the Jags.
Yeah, I think he's like a top 10 guy.
I mean that makes the Jags a little bit more scary.
But that's like I'm saying that's like Brian Thomas's ceiling. Like if he pans out, that's his peak. And how often do guys hit their true peaks? So
yeah,
I would expect Brian Thomas's career to play out in a way in which he ends up being at least a top 15 guy. So, which isn't a disrespect. I feel like we always say that like it's a disrespectful thing. Like we're telling you that this dude is going to be top 15 in the world at what he does. Like that's really good. It's just they're just like 10-ish dudes better than him, which is not a huge slight in my opinion, but some people take it personally. All right, speaking of things people take personally, Mac Guy responded to us. He said, I think I'll come back to this channel after week 1 is over and Denver has beaten Seattle just to see Brenner's Knicks hating, Peyton hating, but making excuses for about why Seattle lost. Should be fun. I look forward to it.
Listen, man. Let me take over for a minute. I love Bo Nix. I've been saying it on the pod for months, but you must be crazy to think that they're actually gonna beat Seattle. I don't think there's a chance. No chance.
You got no chance.
And I love Bo Nix. I think Bo Nix is. I think he's underrated.
I said this earlier. I think it's going to be closer than
Zach Wilson is literally getting all the QB1 reps right now. Zach Wilson is.
Good luck with Zach Wilson.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck with that, Denver. Steve's like, yeah, start Zach Wilson, Denver. Start Zach Wilson.
Please, yeah.
He's so good. Like we're so scared in Kansas City of him. You should start it.
Yeah.
We're so scared.
Listen,
All right. This one's at me. Jeff Hoofman 4568 comes back again. Dan Campbell fired in 2 seasons after BJ leaves. What a moronic statement! Explanation point. Wow. ... When Ben Johnson leaves, Dan Campbell will get fired. Bookmark that. Ben Johnson is saving that man's career.
You think
Brenner's talking a lot of
promote Ben Johnson?
I know.
I mean, there's a higher
Brenner's
likelihood
a Sith. He only talks in absolutes.
I only deal in absolutes. There's a higher chance that Ben Johnson gets promoted to head coach of the Lions than there is that Dan Campbell ever wins a Super Bowl as head coach of the Lions.
Yeah, but Dan Campbell just led the Lions to their first division.
But see, that's my issue with it.
And they just
bro.
went.
But here's my issue with that.
NFC Championship. I don't think they're gonna fire him. Like I think there's much love in Detroit for Dan Campbell, and if he were to leave or get fired, I think
when I made that statement, the statement was that Ben Johnson would leave next season. So after this season, Ben Johnson would leave, and then the Lions are gonna go 6-10 because Dan Campbell's defense can't stop anything, and they're gonna be like, okay, Johnson was the answer. We need to find a new head coach. Or they're going to give Campbell the benefit of the doubt and let him try to find another offensive coordinator, which I would love because that keeps Dan Campbell in Detroit. But there's no Dan Campbell's
and your quarterback's Jared Goff.
Yeah, like Ben Johnson is taking Ben Johnson is pulling a Sean fucking McVay. He's taking Jared Goff and making him a Super Bowl level quarterback. Like, that is really impressive. Ben Johnson, that offense carries Detroit. I mean, Nick Mullins put up 400 yards on that defense. You're telling me Dan Campbell's defense got shredded by Nick fucking Mullins? Like, when they were fighting for, like, the number 1 seed. So it's not like they didn't have anything to play for. They were fighting for the 1 seed. So they were going all out, and Nick Mullins torched that defense. It's Dan Campbell's not a good football coach. He's a great rah-rah motivational guy. Phenomenal. Probably the best in the NFL at getting guys to want to run through a brick wall. And that is extremely important to have in your locker room and your coaching staff. I just don't believe that the head coach should only have that ability. He should be able to do that and pick a side of the ball and be beyond proficient at coaching that side of the ball. But, hey, whatever. I'm not even salty
Step
about
off
it.
your soapbox.
I'm not even salty about it. All right. Colin Fun said, no one is saying that Green Bay is the best team in the NFC. What the hell is Mills smoking? All I have heard are people saying that they will be better this year, which is 100% logical since last year they were the youngest team in the NFL. And it was not even close, almost half a year younger on average than second place. And went an unexpected 9-8. No sane person is expecting them to set a world on fire. But how can you not think a team full of young players will not improve with a year's worth of game experience under their belt? Riley, that was directed directly at you.
What Chase? Okay, so what? Chase Claypool had 1,000-yard season his second year, and then never came close to that again. Just because you played good one year doesn't mean you're going to get better the next, and potentially not even reach that level again.
Facts.
I mean, aside from doing like the historical thing and smoking Dallas in Dallas, like what did they do that was so impressive last year? Like that's just like
they won 9 games.
They beat us.
Jordan Love is that guy. He's gonna get 4 MVPs and take them to a Super Bowl. And
I think the fact that he said the best team in the NFC too, that's a little bit of a reach. Okay.
No. He's saying no one is saying Green Bay is the best team in the NFC.
Okay.
He said
no. I thought he was asking us why we're not saying that though.
No, he said no one is saying that Green Bay is the best team in the NFC. What the hell is Mills smoking? That is the exact quote.
Okay.
I don't.
I mean, they're
what is this team's peak?
I mean, tell me if I'm wrong here. I see the Packers a lot like I see the Jags with a lesser quarterback. Like, who scares you on Green Bay? Who's the guys like, ooh, I don't want to play him?
You take T-Law over Jordan Love?
Oh, absolutely, in a heartbeat,
really?
Dude.
Yeah,
I'd take Christian Kirk over the Green Bay receivers.
Over Jordan Reed? Or not Jordan Reed.
They have 3 good receivers, dude.
Man, they have.
I would take Jordan Love over T-Law.
They're all like a wide receiver 2, though. Nobody's like a wide receiver 1. Like they have a couple solid 2s, which isn't bad. I'm like, that's top 20 guy, top 20, 25 guy. It's just not a true number 1 receiver. Like they don't have like
Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs,
Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs is the biggest threat on that offense, and he's 28 now, 29. Yep.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I was going to say the biggest threat on that offense to me, like in my eye, is Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, absolutely. And
the thing is, well, no, they do still have AJ Dillon. They didn't get rid of him. So
yeah, he doesn't scare me at all.
He doesn't.
Track simulator guy himself.
I mean, what? But seriously, like, come at it. So Josh Jacobs is 26, so he'll be 27 after this season. So he's still young. And I'm not trying to say that he's washed or anything of that sort. Josh Jacobs is still a threat, but he is their number 1 threat. So it's kind of akin to the Raiders team from 2 years ago with Jacobs on it, where he led the league in rushing, granted, but like that team didn't scare anybody. I'm not terrified of that team. So I just don't see a world in which the Packers come in and win 2 playoff games and make a run at the NFC. Like, I don't see that. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, but you also hate the Packers.
Yeah, but tell me if I'm wrong here. Tell me if I'm wrong.
4 of the 5 of us here hate the Packers. I know that for sure, but
I am kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Optimistic about the Packers.
That's fair to be optimistic.
I'm kind of optimistic about them. I liked all 3 of their receivers last year. There was a point during last season where I looked at the Packers receivers and said any one of those guys would be a number 1 guy on the Chiefs right now. Any one of those guys.
You think Romeo Doubs would have been a number 1 receiver on the Chiefs last season?
At one point during the season last year, probably around the time when we lost to the Packers, I looked at that offense and said, any one of those receivers, Patrick Mahomes could make a number 1 guy on this offense.
Yeah, but you also told me at that same time that if Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid could somehow win a Super Bowl last season, that you would never complain about the Chiefs ever again.
I remember.
Hey, I was there for that quote.
I know. Like literally, I might bitch about a game, but
No, you're not allowed. No. You're not allowed to bitch anymore. You gave up that right. You swore if they led you to a Super Bowl last season, you would never complain again.
Man, I told you guys I could never be happier with the Chiefs. Okay, so anything that happens over the, I am so smitten
until they trade Mahomes.
Listen, man, I got the fucking rings, guy.
Okay, since we're talking about the Packers and we just talked about the Lions, I want to know, Steven, who do you have winning the NFC North division?
NFC North?
I'm curious because I know we all talk about it a little bit.
Honestly, the Lions.
Okay,
that's fair.
Honestly, I think the Packers are nice. I gotta see what the Bears can do. You know, man. I mean, they look like they should. They look like they.
Steve's a little bit of a closet Bears fan. Don't let him lie to you.
A closet Bears fan.
I do. I like the Bears.
He is.
I've got lots of family from Illinois. You know, we always kind of like had the Chiefs on and the Bears on. So
yeah,
Bears
he's a bit of a closet Bears fan. Don't let him lie to you.
We kept the Bears on in the back room, the Chiefs on in the front room, but we watched both games. You know. But I gotta see. But I mean, I don't think they're going to come out and win, you know, all these games everybody thinks that they're going to win. But I think that they could be competitive. You know, I think they might be a season or two
North
away.
Will definitely have 3 9-win teams. Which of the Bears or Vikings reaches 9 wins is yet to be determined. But I feel like the Packers are going to be 9 to 10 wins. The Lions are going to be 9 to 11 wins. So I think they'll have 3 9-win teams. That would be my hot take.
Brent, I've been wanting to ask you this. Do you think Darnold's going to start all season?
Oh, 100%. Oh, all season?
All season.
If he stays healthy? Like completely healthy?
Yeah, if he's healthy and the Vikings are competitive, do you think he plays all season? Or if you think they might lose a game here too mid-season, they switch to McCarthy?
So here's the thing. It depends on McCarthy. I can't speak to that because what the Vikings did is that when they drafted McCarthy, and Kevin O'Connell has talked very openly about this, they have a checklist, quote unquote, of goals that McCarthy has to hit before they will start him. And whenever he completes that checklist, they'll feel he's ready to be the starter, and that's when he'll get put in the game. So if he completes it over the offseason, he'll start week 1. If he doesn't complete it till next offseason, he won't start till next offseason. So and I'm sure there are certain things in that, like show a certain maturity, have a certain threshold on the offense, have, you know, all these, be able to decipher this level of coverage in real time. And there's so many things that could be on that list that we have no clue about. So I imagine with O'Connell's offense being as like deep as it is, like Kirk Cousins, a guy who had Kevin O'Connell came to the Vikings, Kirk had a different offensive scheme every year of his career. And Kirk was like, this offense is so massive. Like, I don't even have a real hold on it yet. 2 weeks into the season, his first year. So for a guy like Kirk, who's a very cerebral, very mind-focused guy, like for him to not be able to grasp the entire offense in one offseason, I find it very hard that a rookie will. But, you know, could happen.
But Sam Darnold's going to be able to do it?
I don't think they care as much if Sam Darnold flounders. I don't think they want to put JJ out there before he's fully ready because the confidence is such a thing. I think if Sam Darnold goes out and has a 4 interception game one game and we get smoked 34-10, I think they just take their lumps and move on with it and keep him going and be like, yeah, you know, it is what it is, but you know, we're not really competing for a Super Bowl this year anyways. So, and then, you know, keep JJ fresh, let him learn. I mean, Pat Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love to an extent. You know what I mean? Now, I still think Love has a lot to prove because people forget the first half of last season was like, this guy doesn't have what it takes to be an NFL quarterback. Now, the second half, he turned it on and played really well, but I'm still up in the air on Jordan Love on what he really is. He needs to show me a full season of what he did in the last 6 games of last season, and then I'll believe, okay, this dude's legit. He's a real deal. But he has that opportunity this year. Couple more comments here, and then we'll move on. As long as the Chiefs do good enough to make the playoffs, that's all they need. Just Chris 7667. Steve, how's that make you feel?
I fully believe if as long as the Chiefs get into the dance, they have they have the potential. Like they could run the table. Like if you get us in as a wild card, you get us in as a 3 seed, you get us in as a whatever 1 seed. I think I trust Andy Reid. I trust the way Brett Veach has built that offense, the roster entirely, and this defense is just getting better. I know we lost LJ Snead, but what the Chiefs have proved is that they can draft corners. Like they've proven that the last several years. We draft a bunch of decent guys, and I think Trent McDuffie in 2 years is going to command even more money and more capital than L'Jarius Snead just.
Damn, that's a hot take. That's a hot take.
I think
I'm a big proponent of on defense, like the way the Chiefs ran their defense last year. They benefited a lot from having a dude like L'Jarius Snead who was a shutdown corner. Like he was like you could play. He could just handle his assignment, and the rest of the defense could play multiple and do different things because they knew they were playing 10 on 9 essentially because L'Jarius had his dude locked up. Like that was a done deal, right? Like that was not getting let out the bag, and they could play 10 against 9 because the quarterback was not a weapon per se. But depending on who they were playing, of course.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not trying to undervalue what LJ Snead did for the Chiefs and what the type.
No, you're selling him short. You're freaking telling me he's worthless.
The type
Titans
of
fans are raging.
Developed into. Like I'm you know, I'm grateful for it. You know what I'm saying? But I think I'm not kidding, bro. I think in 2 years, when Trent McDuffie hits the market, if the Chiefs let him, I think he will command more money. I think he's a better raw talent at 2 years in the league, man. Where he's at, and you know, I just think he's a better corner, man.
All right, well, you heard it here first.
I think
you
he's
heard
better.
it first. Come back, bookmark this video. Come back, tear Steve a new one if this doesn't happen. Rip him to shreds. All right, 3 more comments here. LOL, Tampa smoked the Packers last season, ... in all caps, in Green Bay, destroyed them. Spoon, your thoughts?
My thoughts.
Yeah.
I love it. I love hearing that. I'm a huge Baker Mayfield fan, obviously. I thought that's why you put it on me. So did we all pick Green Bay to win?
I think we picked Green Bay to win. I can pull up the Excel while you talk.
Okay.
Give me a sec here.
I mean, man, it's just I think it's going to be a great game. I think.
Oh, you weren't here for week 1.
I was not here for week 1.
Yeah,
that's why I don't know.
Yeah, we picked Packers.
We picked Packers 2-1. I don't remember who the 1 was.
It's probably me.
Probably you.
Well, the Packers play the Eagles.
No, it's probably
1. So who does?
Yeah,
this is our week 1 predictions, right?
Yeah, that's what what is this comment about? Then? I don't even know.
Maybe because we have the Bucks. We have. I mean, I picked the Commanders to beat the Bucks week 1.
Did somebody pick Washington to beat Tampa?
Oh, we picked Washington 2-1 to beat Tampa Bay.
Okay, maybe that's and that is a little crazy. I'm so sorry. If I was on the pod, I promise you I would have picked Tampa Bay there.
Yeah, I would have picked Tampa as well.
But hold on, it was I remember this. I remember this now. It's a weird week 1 thing. Weird things happen week 1. That's what it was.
Yeah, like
Jaden
you
Daniels
saying stupid shit.
I don't know, rookie quarterback.
Weird things happen week 1, man. Weird things happen week 1.
I'm gonna go.
It's an escapable, inevitable thing. All right, so we're gonna end on this one. Jackie Jan 6460 says, "Bruh, Minshew is not the starter. The second best rookie quarterback last season is Aiden O'Connell, who BT Dub has been killing it in camp. Also, the Raiders have a much improved O-line and D-line. Going Chargers after that slaughter last season is wild."
First off, he's been killing it in camp. Please shut up. Please shut up.
Oh my God, Aiden O'Connell.
Bro, did you see them throwing in helmets the other day? He was killing it. They haven't even put on shoulder pads yet.
That's honestly, that's what makes Tom Brady the GOAT.
Camp
forget about the Super Bowls. How did he do in camp, guys?
Bro,
I mean,
guys, this dude's wild. Jackie Jan, 6'4", 60. You're wild. Camp hasn't even started yet. Like his little like profile picture is literally Jackie Chan doing this one, right? Like camp hasn't even started yet.
Yeah, he's talking
Like
about camp
this
from
is
last year.
OTAs and mini camp. Like that's not camp. That's organized team activities. Okay, camp doesn't start till the end of July.
They're
This
getting
is
together having tea,
wild take.
coffee.
They're throwing against air right now. Like they're doing some like 7-on-7 stuff. Like
Just having a catch.
Minshew is the starter. Get over yourself. Like, come on. Come on. Stop it. Stop it.
I just think it's funny whenever Aiden O'Connell actually played a good defense last year. He threw for 62 yards. Come at me.
Come at me.
Are you talking about the Cowboys?
I'm talking about whenever they played the Chiefs.
That's what I was just
Week
talking
16. Threw for 62
Yeah.
yards. Aiden O'Connell. That's your starter.
If the Chiefs had any offense worth talking about that game, we would have smashed them. We gave them 14 points in 30 seconds.
I'm just saying the Vikings didn't even let the Raiders score a single point a whole game. Whole game, 0
Yeah, but
points.
you guys scored 3 points.
That's
Brennan.
not important. That's not important.
Like, you got
Okay.
3 points at the buzzer.
That's not important.
Yeah,
What's important is
Yeah.
Vikings
Most
won
boring
without
game of all
surrendering
time.
a single point. No, the most boring game of all time was the Vikings-Bears game me and Riley went to last season. It was like 9-11 final score. I mean, it was
Really?
yeah.
Final 2 minutes.
Riley, was that your first Bears win in person?
Yes.
Yeah, that was
What does,
like,
does that make me 1-4?
I don't know. I don't know what that
5,
makes you,
something
man.
like that.
It's ridiculous.
Finally got it.
but- we got him, ladies and gentlemen. We got him.
I think the Chiefs games for me is like 2 and 3. Like they're 2 and 3.
I've been to two Vikings home losses, 2 Vikings away losses, and every other game I've been to has been a dub. And I've been to a game at US Bank every year since 2016.
I've only seen the Cowboys win one game. Going to them, okay? And the
Oh,
one
I forgot. I saw Vikings win at Dallas too. I forgot about that. I saw
you
them win
did.
at
You
Dallas.
saw Vikings
Boom.
win there. I also saw the Cowboys lose to the Bills that year as well. Let's see.
How did you?
What was the Thanksgiving game? What was the Thanksgiving game that year you went to? Was that the
It
Bills
was the
game?
Bills game.
Oh, okay.
And then the following season, I think I did not go to a game, but then the season after that, I went and watched the Cowboys play the Broncos and the Cardinals, and we lost both games. The only team I've ever seen the Cowboys beat in person was the Chicago Bears.
Two best games. 2 best games I went to. I went to a game it was the game in 2015 when Jamal Charles tore his ACL against the Bears. I was there. Matt Forte
caught. Yep, I was there with you.
Oh yeah, Cooner
drop.
I was there with you.
Yeah, Matt Forte caught a pass from just a Jay Cutler muffed the snap, like dropped it on the turf, picked it up, and found Matt Forte in the back of the end zone for something crazy.
Yeah,
and the Chiefs were like
corner of the end zone. It was awesome.
We were winning the entire game. The Bears were playing like trash. I mean, I'm pretty sure they still had Alshon Jeffrey and Brandon Marshall.
Bro, you want to hear something crazy? It's 2012. It's like, a Sunday afternoon in November. You're about to watch Jamal Charles and Matt Forte go at it. Like, that's a wild thing, dude. That's wild.
It was crazy.
That was
and
wild.
then I also got to see I was at the 13 seconds game. I was actually in the end zone. Where
Yeah.
I remember the video.
The game-winning touchdown.
You sent us the video to us.
Yeah, it is.
Bro, we're giving Unk right now. We are giving Unk hard right now.
Please
We are giving Unk hard right now.
All
All right. Anybody got anything else they want to add to the show before we get off here? I just want to thank everybody for sticking around. There's a little subscribe button right below me over here. Make sure go hit that on the YouTube channel. Leave a comment.
Subscribe.
If you come at us hard enough, we will definitely come back at you. In
Hey,
the
didn't you
best
say-
way possible.
Didn't you say we would do something every 50 subscribers or something?
So it was every 500.
Close
Get to
enough.
500 subscribers. Okay, we will
We just
give
got to
away
50,
a
Brent.
signed jersey. Yeah, we just got to 50. So we want to thank everybody for that. That's a big deal in and of itself. But every 500, we will be giving away a signed jersey to one subscriber. Jersey of their choice. Any active player you want, whoever you want, we'll get you a signed jersey. We'll do a giveaway. It'll be a whole thing. but we got to get to 500 subscribers first. So when we hit it, we'll let you know. So until then, keep spreading it, throwing it to your friends, throwing it to your uncles, throwing it to your aunts, throw it to your grandparents. I know some of you got grandparents that are just sitting at home watching TV all day anyways. Throw us on for them. Just boop.
Yeah, they have YouTube on their Roku.
Yeah, exactly.
I know for sure.
Make it happen. All right, everybody. We'll see you later this week on the Week 5 prediction episode. Make sure to check that out on the channel, and we'll see y'all next time.